what we've been saying then is that there are resources, facts of production, and there are lots of wants. And a minute ago we talked about how those might be allocated by different systems. But economists have a useful tool to allow you to visualise the choices that face society. And that's called a production possibility frontier. So what I want you to do is to imagine that we divide the world, we divide everything that could be, that's not very straight, and we divide everything that could be produced into two main types of things. And we'll call them, say, we'll call them, say, goods on the one hand, and services on the other. Now obviously we've got a certain amount of facts of production, and what we could do is we could put them all into goods. So if we did that, so this is the quantity of services, and this is the quantity of goods, the total amount. So we could put all our resources into making goods, into making iPhones, into making board pens, into making North Face jumpers. If we did that, then we would have no services, but we would have a hell of a lot of goods. Alternatively, we could make no goods at all, and we could put all our resources into services. But there is a limit to how much we can produce. If we put every single man, woman, child, piece of land into services, well, fine. There's still a limit to how many we can produce, Q1. If we put every single resource into goods, there's a limit that we can produce, Q2. In other words, this shows the idea that we face constraints. We face scarcity. Now, generally, production possibility frontiers are drawn as bendy. If you want to know why, there's an extension video at the end, that'll talk about their shapes. But you'll do. Remember, you'll do all this stuff in lessons anyway. This is just to get you started. So let's imagine we've got 4 points. We'll call that one A, that one B, that one C, and that one D. So if we take D has vast amounts of goods and vast amounts of services. The point about D is you can't have it. You'd like it. D would be lovely. You would have, you'd have lots of goods, lots of services. As a society, you'd be very happy. But we simply don't have enough resources to reach point D. Meanwhile, point A is a bit shit. Because we could have produced lots more. We've got enough resources. We could have had both more goods and we could have had more services. But we haven't. Some of the resources in this economy aren't being used. Effectively, we've got unemployment. And this is known as something called Pareto. It's called, point A is what's called Pareto Inefficient. And again, don't worry too much about this. We're going to cover it all in the lessons. But Pareto Inefficiency occurs where you could increase the output of one good without having less of another. So so in other words, at point A, there's no opportunity cost. We don't have to give anything up. We could have more goods and not have fewer services. We could have more services and not have fewer goods. So what this production possibility frontier firstly has shown is it's shown us about the idea of scarcity. We don't have enough resources to reach point D. But we can also show, at least point D for a minute, we can also show the idea of opportunity cost. Suppose we're at point B, and we have, say, 100 services and 200 goods. And let's suppose that we want to have 150 services. Well, we can, but in order to do that, we have to give up some goods. So we can move from B to C. We can switch. We can take workers up here. We can take them out of goods, and we can put them into services. But there's been an opportunity cost, because now instead of having 200 goods, we've only got, say, 170. So what we can say is that the opportunity cost of producing 50 more goods is having producing 50 more services is having 30 fewer goods. So this is quite a useful tool that we'll explore in a minute. But basically it says we are constrained. We can choose between things, but if we have more of one, we have to have less of another. Unless we're inefficient, a point like that, where there are lots of unemployed resources. But where we'd really like to be is up here at D, where we have lots of both goods.